In today's world where nearly everyone has a camera at their fingertips, many of life's most tragic moments are inevitably captured on film, sometimes even by the victims themselves. In this episode, we'll be examining 5 devastating events that were fully documented on camera. Part 2. On Friday, September 8, 2017, 19-year-old Kanika Jenkins attended a party at the Crowne Plaza Chicago O'Hare Hotel in Rosemont, Illinois. The gathering began late Thursday night around 11:30 p.m. in room 926. As the night unfolded, Kanika consumed cognac but was not reported to have taken any. Friends noted that she seemed unsteady and wasn't acting like her usual self. She danced a little, but later appeared sad and sat down.
You know where the slide go up with the gang, and go up.
Oh, you want to do something?
Irritated.
In the early hours of the morning, Kanika was seen walking around the hotel with her friends. At some point, they parted ways, and this was the last time they saw her. When her friends couldn't find her later, they became worried and contacted her mother, Teresa Martin, who arrived at the hotel around 5:30 a.m. to help search for her daughter. Consumed by concern, Teresa knocked on numerous hotel room doors from top to bottom until a hotel employee called 911 to complain about the disturbance. Throughout the night and into the next day, Kanika remained missing, seemingly having vanished without a trace. Desperate for answers, her mother requested access to the hotel's surveillance footage, but management declined until a missing person report was filed with the police. After filing the report, authorities and hotel staff began reviewing the CCTV footage. Initial checks of the entrances and exits showed no sign of Kanika leaving the hotel. Hours of surveillance video were painstakingly examined until Kanika was finally spotted. She appeared to be intoxicated, staggering through the hotel's hallways. Investigators continued to track her movements on the footage, trying to determine where she had gone. Eventually, they discovered footage of Kanika entering the hotel's kitchen area. In the video, she is seen swaying as she walks into the kitchen and then turns left toward the freezer section. Acting on this information, police rushed to the kitchen and searched the freezer. Tragically, they found Kanika's body inside the walk-in freezer. The freezer was operational and located within a walk-in cooler, requiring her to go through 2 doors to reach it. Reports indicated that the lights were off in both areas when she entered, leaving her in complete darkness. The freezer doors were not locked, and there was a release button inside, raising questions about why she didn't exit. Her death was ruled as accidental, with hypothermia cited as the cause. The Rosemont Police Department issued a statement saying that no foul play was suspected. However, Kanika's family, along with many others online, have created numerous other theories about how she met her terrifying final affliction. On Tuesday, June 12, 2012, Vadim was driving along a Russian highway with his wife Olga and their baby, expecting just another ordinary day. Around 11 a.m., their Audi A4 cruised down the road, the family unaware that their lives were about to take a tragic turn. As they approached the 11th kilometer marker, a convoy of large trucks appeared in the distance, heading toward them. These trucks were heavily loaded with 16 tons of bricks, stacked carelessly and inadequately secured. The bricks were precariously placed, making them a potential hazard to anyone nearby. As the vehicles passed each other, one of the bricks became dislodged from one of the trucks. In a matter of seconds, the brick tumbled off the truck bed and hurtled directly toward Vadim's car. The dashcam in the Audi captured the horrifying moment as the brick smashed through the windshield. There was no time to react. The brick struck 29-year-old Olga in the head at a speed of about 60 miles per hour. The impact was devastating. Vadim, in shock, glanced over to see his wife gravely injured beside him. Realizing the severity of the situation, he immediately pulled over and called for emergency assistance. The truck driver, unaware of the catastrophe, continued driving down the highway. Meanwhile, Vadim rushed Olga to the emergency room at Azov Hospital. Medical personnel worked tirelessly for 2 hours, attempting to save her life. Despite their efforts, Olga was pronounced dead due to the severity of her injuries. In the days that followed, authorities launched an investigation into the incident. The dashcam footage became a crucial piece of evidence. It showed the brick falling from the poorly secured load and the subsequent impact on the car. The truck driver was eventually identified and arrested, charged under Article 264 for violating traffic regulations resulting in a death due to negligence. A regular family trip down the road destroyed in a matter of seconds. The 29-year-old mother and wife Olga had suddenly met her terrifying final affliction. In the bustling city of Changsha, China, among its myriad skyscrapers, stands the Huayuan International Center, a towering 62-story edifice completed in 2007. While most visitors frequent the building for its shopping malls and luxury hotels, one man saw it as the ultimate stage for his daring pursuits. Wu Yongning, a 26-year-old thrill-seeker, had gained fame as China's first rooftopper. Often referred to as the Chinese Superman, he was renowned for his breathtaking stunts performed at dizzying heights. His videos showcased him hanging off buildings and executing extreme parkour moves over sheer drops of 1,000 meters or more. To his millions of online followers, it seemed there was no limit to his audacity. With plans to propose to his girlfriend the following day, Wu set out to maximize his earnings from his viral content. That morning, he arrived at the Huayuan International Center, determined to film his most daring video yet. He ascended 42 flights of stairs inside the building and then, without any safety equipment, climbed an additional 20 floors on the building's exterior. Finally reaching the rooftop, he set up his camera to record his final heart-stopping stunt. Positioning himself on the edge, Wu began performing pull-ups with the sprawling cityscape as his backdrop. He completed several repetitions, but soon it became apparent that he was struggling. The fatigue from his exhausting climb and the physical strain of the pull-ups started to take their toll. Desperately trying to lift himself back onto the ledge, he grappled for a hold. In a harrowing moment captured on his own camera, Wu lost his grip and fell approximately 47 meters, about 147 feet, onto a terrace below. The impact was fatal. His body was discovered later by a window cleaner who was working on the building. For nearly a month, Wu's social media accounts went silent, leaving his fans and followers in a state of puzzled concern. It wasn't until his girlfriend publicly announced his death that the tragic truth emerged. The incident sparked widespread discussion and criticism. Many questioned why he undertook such a perilous feat alone and without any safety precautions. However, others acknowledged that even with additional people present, the outcome might not have been different. In response to the tragedy, Chinese authorities issued warnings against the dangerous practice of rooftopping. They called for increased regulation and supervision of live streaming platforms to discourage individuals from attempting such hazardous activities without proper safety measures. It just goes to show the extreme risks people are willing to take for fame and the dire consequences that can follow. In this case, Wu Yongning's untimely, final affliction. On the morning of January 15, 2023, Yeti Airlines Flight 691 prepared for a routine journey from Kathmandu to Pokhara, Nepal. The flight was scheduled to last about 25 minutes, connecting the nation's capital to a popular tourist destination nestled among the Himalayas. The aircraft, a 15-year-old ATR-72-500 twin-engine turboprop, was considered reliable and well-suited for Nepal's challenging terrain. At the controls were Senior Captain Kamal KC, a veteran pilot with over 21,900 flight hours, and First Officer Anju Katiwada, who had amassed around 6,400 flight hours. The weather was clear and calm, ideal conditions for flying. As Flight 691 approached the newly opened Pokhara International Airport, everything seemed normal. The landing gear was deployed, and the aircraft was on its final descent. However, air traffic controllers noticed something unusual. The plane's nose was pointed unusually high for a landing approach. Without warning, the aircraft's engines lost thrust. The left wing dipped sharply, and the plane began to roll. A video captured from the ground showed the aircraft banking steeply to the left before plummeting out of sight behind a ridge. Inside the cabin, a passenger named Sonu Jaiswal was live streaming the landing on social media. His video showed passengers relaxed and unaware of any issues moments before chaos erupted. Suddenly, the serene atmosphere turned to horror as the plane jolted violently. Then, the screen filled with flames before the feed cut out. At approximately 11 a.m., the aircraft crashed into a gorge near the Seti Gandaki River, just a short distance from the runway. Rescue teams arrived swiftly, but were met with a devastating scene. The plane was engulfed in flames, broken into pieces, with wreckage strewn across the rugged terrain. Tragically, all 72 people on board perished, making it the deadliest aviation disaster in Nepal's recent history. Investigators immediately began probing the cause of the crash. Preliminary findings revealed that less than 2 minutes before impact, First Officer Katiwada had called for the flaps to be set to 30 degrees, a standard procedure to increase lift during landing. However, data from the flight recorder indicated that instead of adjusting the flaps, the propeller rotation speeds of both engines decreased significantly, and torque levels dropped to 0. This suggested that one of the pilots might have inadvertently moved the power levers to the feather position, effectively reducing engine thrust to nothing. Further analysis showed that the pilots did not follow standard checklists during the approach. 14 seconds before the crash, control was handed over to Captain KC, the more experienced pilot, but by that point, recovery was impossible. Speculation arose that unfamiliarity with the new airport's approach path or possible confusion in the cockpit may have contributed to the fatal errors. The tragedy sent shockwaves through Nepal. Questions were raised about pilot training, aircraft maintenance, and operational protocols, especially in a country known for its difficult flying conditions due to mountainous terrain. What was certain was the immense loss suffered by the families of the passengers and crew, who all tragically met their final affliction. It's almost unimaginable to consider traveling over land at speeds surpassing 500 miles per hour. Yet for Jessie Combs, this was not just a possibility, it was her reality and passion. Born in South Dakota, Jessie developed a deep love for automobiles early in life. After graduating from college in 1998, she launched a career in the automotive and diesel industry, quickly establishing herself with her remarkable driving abilities. Her exceptional skill behind the wheel led her to set a women's land speed record in 2013. Not content with that achievement, she broke her own record in 2016, earning the nickname the fastest woman on 4 wheels. Beyond racing, Jessie co-hosted the popular television show Extreme 4x4 on Spike TV, appearing in over 90 episodes between 2005 and 2009. She excelled in every endeavor she pursued, becoming a respected figure in a male-dominated field. On August 27, 2019, Jessie aimed to shatter the long-standing women's land speed record of 512 miles per hour set by Kitty O'Neill in 1976. In the Alvord Desert of southeastern Oregon, she climbed into the cockpit of the North American Eagle Supersonic Speed Challenger, a 56-foot-long jet-powered car boasting 52,000 horsepower. Despite previous unsuccessful attempts, Jessie was determined to make history that day. Video footage from the attempt captures Jessie accelerating across the vast desert landscape, a massive plume of dust trailing behind her as she reached breathtaking speeds. The recording ends abruptly, and moments later, tragedy struck. The car crashed violently, bursting into flames. The impact was so severe that the vehicle was left completely unrecognizable. Emergency responders arrived quickly, but there was nothing they could do. Jessie had lost her life in the pursuit of her dream. An investigation later revealed that the front wheel assembly had collapsed while she was traveling at an astonishing 523 miles per hour. Despite the tragic outcome, it was confirmed that Jessie had indeed broken the existing land speed record. In honor of her achievement and contributions to motorsports, the Guinness World Records posthumously awarded her the title of Fastest Woman on Earth. Jessie's legacy as an accomplished race car driver and a pioneer in her field continues to inspire many, even after her terrifying final affliction.